What is up, everybody? My name is IAmJoeHaro. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and welcome back if you already follow this channel. And if you don't follow this channel already, go ahead and click that subscribe button below and follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is at IAmJoeHaro. Once again, it's at IAmJoeHaro. Look to the left. Now, today's video, I thought long and hard about it on whether or not I wanted to address the topic on my channel, and I decided I am going to talk about it, I decided when I made my YouTube channel a couple weeks ago that I was always going to be true on what I said and voiced my opinion. So this subject has to do with what's currently going on around the world and has been going on for years and decades. It's regarding racism, okay? And so this video is to address how we can make a change regarding racism. And I decided to make a video about it because of everything that's currently going on today. Today is May 31st, and there was a very sad, tragic death. His name was George Floyd, and he was killed by the Minneapolis police. And so this has sparked major sadness across the world. Riots are happening, buildings are on fire, and I understand. My heart goes out to the families of George Floyd, and I think that it's finally time that people around the world speak up. And they are. And I am excited that people are finally finding their voice because it truly needs to be heard. And so these are my tips on what I suggest that we can do to make change. It's not going to happen overnight. It is going to take years, unfortunately. But one thing to start off with is speaking up, guys. Whether you have 10 followers or thousands of followers, everybody has a voice, and being silent is the same thing as being complicit, unfortunately. And what I mean by that is when you don't speak up and voice your opinion on racism, it's basically you avoiding or ignoring that it does not exist in today's society, and unfortunately it does. So whether it's a simple post on social media that you think all lives matter, etc., every post that you speak up about regarding racism does matter. So make sure that if you guys have a platform, whether it's small or large, that you guys are voicing your opinion on how you feel about the subject, and you truly let others know that something needs to change. And if you don't know what that change is just yet, that's also okay, but at least you're throwing the opinion out there for others to then discuss it, okay? My second thing on what I suggest is needed regarding change is I think that racism starts from your home. And I think it's taught from a younger generation when you're little. If you have children, or if you're going to be having children in the future, I think that it's so important to instill good thoughts in your children, to teach them the right things, to teach self-love, and that everybody is created equally and should be treated equally regardless of their gender, their skin, their sexual orientation. Everybody deserves to live in a world where they're treated equally no matter what. And so I think that it's important that we instill in our little ones that everybody is to be loved and treated equally. Okay? My tip number 3 is protesting regarding racism, okay? Over the last couple of days, I've seen protests on TVs where they have started off the right way, where they've peacefully been marching on streets, and they have gone about the right way and voicing their opinions and having signs, and that's all great, guys. You guys are doing a great job. But what I don't like is it's getting very political, and I've seen undercover cops pretend they're protesters and then enrage the protesters, and cops are setting fires on buildings, making it seem like it's the black community, That stuff I don't agree with. I think it's extremely wrong, okay? I don't agree with the riots and setting businesses on fire. I do understand, however, I had this discussion actually with my mom and my sister, and I said, I understand why people are angry. I understand why things are being caught on fire. Do I think it's right? No, I don't think it's right, but I get it. People have been peacefully protesting for years, and it usually goes nowhere, unfortunately. You know, the same thing with Colin Kaepernick. He decided to set the kneeling movement in the NFL, and it caused huge controversial issues. It also set him back years where he was no longer signed and still is not signed to a major football league. But it gets frustrating. You try to do things the right way and protest and, you know, be compassionate, and when it comes down to it, you can only be peaceful and protest the right way. And it just got to a point where police brutality has been happening for years, and some of the cops that have been killing our Black and brown community are getting away with the killings. And unfortunately, this was the last straw that broke the camel's back, unfortunately, with George Floyd. It was a very sad incident, and he did not deserve to die. And now it's caused controversial outbreak around the world. I've seen protests in London, in Berlin. I've seen protests in Brazil, some in Puerto Rico, which is also part of the US. But this is huge. And finally, this is being addressed nationwide, that racism still exists, not only in the US. And people are tired of it. And so hopefully this causes change, and it's not just another hashtag, because people that have been being killed over the last couple of years by crooked cops and the police have just become a hashtag. And unfortunately, some change happens, but not a lot has happened. And we need to do something about it. We need to speak up and voice our opinions. So, my next tip on what we can do to fight against racism is joining movements, signing petitions that exist online. Those little things, guys, they do help out. So make sure if you see something that has to do with a situation that you guys didn't agree upon because of racial injustice, you sign the petition. Take that little time, click that link, enter your first and last name, your email, and sign off. Every signature counts on those petitions. So make sure that you guys do that, okay? My next tip, guys, is we need to stop pretending that racism does not exist, because it does, okay? Like Dr. Martin Luther King said, darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can. And we as a society around the world need to be that light that brings change. So we need to look into ways on how this issue can get fixed in today's society. What can you do to make the change? Let's be the change in the world. Have topics, have these conversations with your friends, have these conversations with your family. I know some of these conversations can get heated. I've gotten into heated conversations with my roommates and with friends regarding what I think it's right and wrong regarding police brutality, or setting the buildings on fire, or doing this and doing that. Yeah, those topics can get heated, but at least it's being discussed, okay? I don't think that burning buildings is something that should be led to, but I agree that that's what's brought the change right now and what's causing big controversy around the world. The fact that these buildings are being caught on fire, I think, is finally bringing a lot of issues to light. And I think if people had been protesting peacefully, I don't think that this would have caused such a big issue, unfortunately. And it's very sad, but something needed to happen, and unfortunately, us as a society, things can only change when matters have gotten worse, unfortunately. The same thing with the coronavirus. I don't think people took it as seriously until people started dying around the world. People in New York didn't take it seriously until they started seeing bodies add up in trailers. The same thing happened here in Los Angeles. Everybody thought it was not real. And then they saw that the death chart was going up, and finally they took it seriously. We need to be proactive and not let it get worse. So make sure that you guys are instilling good thoughts in your children, teaching them that all matters live regardless of race, gender, sexual orientation. Everybody matters, okay? Peacefully protest. I know it's hard that when we're peacefully protesting, it can then lead to cops, tear gassing you. I've seen that all over the TV. And then that's where the chaos begins, because you're peacefully protesting and then you're being tear gassed by the cops, or you're being hit because you're not dispersing during a normal peaceful protest. I've seen it all this weekend. I've seen a 9-year-old girl get pepper sprayed by police. I mean, these things that are happening right now are so unreal in the world we're living right now. It's extremely sad. And so we need to be the change, guys. So let's speak up. Let's be the light that the world needs. And let's start addressing racism and what we can do to make change. So I hope that some of these tips help you guys out. This is my opinion on the topic, and my heart goes out to those that have passed away because of police brutality. And I hope that the world heals very soon, because we've already gone through a lot with the whole coronavirus and COVID-19 situation, and now we have this going on with racism and police brutality that's been happening for years, but unfortunately it has gotten to its boiling point where people are fed up. And I understand. I get it. So my heart goes out to all of you guys. I hope that you guys are staying safe, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.